What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the name Carl Jung? Archetypes, the collective unconscious, a mind that dared to delve into the hidden recesses of our souls. But what if behind all the academic jargon there lies a single disturbing question? A question so raw and unfiltered that it might just shatter the carefully constructed image you have of yourself. A question that, if answered honestly, has the potential to transform your entire perception of life. Jung once posed a query that lingers long after its echo fades. Who are you really? At first glance, it sounds deceptively simple, almost innocuous. But when you pause and truly consider it, you realize that this isn't a call for idle introspection. It summons to confront the deepest, often darkest corners of your being. Just as Bukowski invited us to embrace our solitude and harness the power of our inner fire, Jung challenges us to step beyond our familiar masks and acknowledge the parts of us that have long been hidden away in the shadows. In the memories, dreams, reflections, Jung said, "The acceptance of oneself is the essence of the whole moral problem and the epitome of whole outlook on life. That I feed the hungry, that I forgive an insult, that I love my enemy in the name of Christ. All these are undoubtedly great virtues. But what I do unto the least of my brethren, that I do unto Christ. But what if I should discover that the least among them all, the poorest of all the beggars, the most impudent of all the offenders, the very enemy himself, that these are within me, and that I myself stand in need of the alms of my own kindness, that I myself am the enemy who must be loved." What then? Jung's own life was not one of effortless clarity, born into a world teetering on the brink of transformation. He wrestled with the dualities of existence, light and dark, conscious and unconscious, order and chaos. His work with the psyche wasn't merely academic, it was a personal pilgrimage into territories that most would rather ignore. In exploring the collective unconscious, Jung discovered that beneath our daily routines, our social facades, and our self-imposed limitations, there exists a raw, unvarnished truth about who we are. His disturbing question isn't meant to unsettle us for its own sake, but rather to free us from the shackles of superficial identity. Consider your own life for a moment. How often have you played a role dictated by society, wearing a mask to appease to expectations of friends, family, or even yourself? You may have accepted a version of yourself that fits nearly into the boxes defined by your culture, your upbringing, or your profession. But what if that version isn't truly you? What if, buried beneath the layers of acquired habits and long-forgotten dreams, there lies a self that has been waiting, hoping even for the moment of reckoning? In the Red Book he wrote, "Be silent and listen. Have you recognized your madness, and do you admit it? Have you noticed that all your foundations are completely mired in madness? Do you not want to recognize your madness and welcome it in a friendly manner? You wanted to accept everything, so accept madness too. Let the light of your madness shine, and it will suddenly dawn on you." Much like Bukowski's journey through isolation and despair eventually led to an honest communion with his own creative spirit, embracing Jung's question can ignite a similar transformation. When you dare to ask, "Who am I really?" you invite a process of radical self-discovery. This journey isn't for the faint-hearted. It demands that you face an uncomfortable truths about your fears, your desires, and the parts of you that you kept hidden from the world and from yourself. It might feel akin to staring into the abyss of your own soul, where the unsettling presence of your shadow self lurks, and yet it is precisely in this confrontation that true liberation is found. Jung believed that our shadow, the collection of all those traits we deny or despise, holds the key to a fuller, more authentic existence. When we acknowledge it rather than repress it, we integrate the disparate parts of our psyche, paving the way for a life that is not dictated by illusions but guided by genuine self-awareness. The disturbing question forces you to abandon the comfort of pretense. It shows you into a realm where vulnerability and courage intervene, where the mundane collides with the mystical, and where every moment becomes an invitation to live more deeply. Just as Bukowski's defiant embrace of his own solitude fueled his art, your willingness to confront Jung's question can transform every aspect of your life. It doesn't guarantee that the journey will be free from pain or regret. In fact, it might be downright messy, filled with moments of despair and revelation. Yet, it is through this struggle that the true essence of who you are is forged. So, let this question not be a source of terror, but a spark that ignites your inner fire, urging you to peel back the layers of conformity and expectation. Look into the mirror of your soul without flinching. Allow the unsettling parts of you to emerge, and in doing so, reclaim the authentic self that has always been there, waiting to be recognized. After all, what is life if not continual journey towards self-discovery? Carl Jung's disturbing question isn't an invitation to despair, it's a call to awaken, embrace it, and you may just find that the most profound revolution in your life begins with a single, unflinching glance into the depths of who you really are.